Hi everyone, John Asia here, and in this video I want to talk about how I landed my internships in Singapore and Malaysia. I'll be guiding you through the steps that you can take and also share some helpful tips and tricks that helped me land mine. Be sure to watch the entire video as I'll be sharing how I landed mine through different parts of the video. And just a disclaimer, these tips are not limited to these two countries only, but also applicable to the rest of Asia. Just to share a bit more about my background, my name is Ja, I'm 24 years old. I was born and raised in the Netherlands while my parents originated from China. I lived in the Netherlands my whole life and I'm currently studying my master's at the Rotterdam School of Management. So due to personal interest, I had a lot of experiences in Asia during my student time. I did an internship for half a year at Unilever in Kuala Lumpur. I've interned in Singapore for 5 months at a tech startup, and I've studied at Tsinghua University in Beijing for 1 semester to study Mandarin Chinese. These have been such impactful times in my life. I believe Asia currently has a lot to offer, so that's why I want to have others have the same experience as well. So how to find an internship in these countries? Let's dive into it right now. So as it's essentially all about the search process, I'll be mainly talking about the mediums that you can use to land your internship. So I'll divide this into 2 categories: searching within your own network and searching outside of your network. So this essentially means sources where you do have ties to and looking at sources where you don't have any connections at all. So starting with the first category, searching within your own network. Due to the fact that finding something abroad is hard, searching within your own network and leveraging your own resources is usually the quickest way to success. Starting with point 1A, use your own personal connections. Do you have any friends or family who have relatives or friends that are currently working or living in the country that you want to go to? Use them. Those people who are already actually working there already can make a very strong case for you or even refer you, which effectively allows you to cut in line and to be able to land interviews at those companies. This is also how I landed my first internship in Malaysia at Unilever. So how it went is that I had a friend who interned there before. She connected me with the recruiter via LinkedIn. I popped a message to the recruiter saying, hey, I know this person and I'm looking for any opportunities that are available. The recruiter then referred me to the website for any open vacancies, and I basically mentioned, okay, this is what I'm interested in. We remained in touch, went through the interview process, and ultimately I landed my role there. So what is important here is that despite me not getting a direct referral to the role because I simply name dropped, being connected with the recruiter via a warmer intro allowed me to stay in touch with her consistently throughout the entire process, which was key for me to be able to land my interviews and be successful in my interviews. Of course, if anyone in your own network can get you this direct referral to the role, that's even better. To conclude, before you do anything, reach out to any people within your own network that have any direct or indirect connections to anyone working in that country already. Moving on to point 1B, leverage any connections that you have at your local university. Are you in any student clubs or organizations where there have been people, friends, alumni who didn't experience abroad? What about the alumni of your university itself? Go to the LinkedIn page of your university, which I'm sure there is one, and try to connect with people who are already working in that country. Simply try to ask for a coffee chat. 9 out of 10 times they would be willing. Introduce yourself, ask relevant questions, be genuinely curious about what they do, and maybe at the end, ask if they could perhaps give you a referral or connect you with the HR. Moving on, leverage the connections of your university. If your uni requires you to do an internship abroad, they would definitely have some existing kind of like network or partnerships of companies that you can reach out to. In the least, ask for any advice on how you should be connected to any potential companies or how to start your search. I'd suggest contacting the Career Center or the International Office with your request, and they should be able to help you further on this. And this is also how a lot of my peers found an internship in Malaysia. basically, our university had a partner called the Malaysian Dutch Business Council, who kind of like facilitates trades and talent between the two countries. And they had a student internship program where they would connect local students from our uni with Malaysian companies there. And it was really good because they would essentially handle the entire process from connecting you to companies, helping you with the housing, helping you with the visa, and then when we're there, they also organize a lot of fun events for us to kind of like meet people. Moving on to point 1C, utilizing your professional network on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing platform where you can get a lot of connections and reach to professionals there. Post a message that you're looking for an internship in that country, be it Singapore or Malaysia, and ask to be connected to anyone who works or worked there before. One tip that I have is to ask your friends to like or comment on the post for more reach. This will greatly increase your chances of the post being seen and also leading you to get more leads in the end. This is an example that I used back in the day when I posted my LinkedIn message, so feel free to pause the video and copy it. Moving on to category 2, searching outside your network. And what I mean with this is possible ways to still find an internship if you have no network at all. Starting off with 2A, for-profit and non-profit internship organizations. There are actually a lot of internship organizations out there that do all the work for you, be it finding companies, getting housing, helping you with the visa process. One example is ISEC, which is a global student network active in over 124 countries and 1,700 universities. You simply sign up and they will guide you throughout your entire process to land an internship. And this is also how I landed my internship in Singapore. So what I did is I signed up, I got connected with the local ISEC organization of my university. I applied to a vacancy on their global job portal. I was lucky enough to get an interview, and after that, I managed to do well and landed my internship. So the local ISEC network in Rotterdam, where I was studying at that time, they helped me with a lot. They helped me polish my CV, they prepared me for the interview by going through mock questions, and then after I got the internship, they helped me with my visa, with my housing. And that was not the end of it. After I flew to Singapore to start my internship, the local ISEC network in Singapore at NUS, the National University of Singapore, they helped me settle in, they picked me up from the airport, also attended their events that they were hosting at NUS itself and their conferences that they held for ISEC. Without this, I would never be able to attend any events that were organized by any local Singaporean university. So this was really, really greatly organized. Do note that the vacancies on the ISEC platform can be highly competitive, as essentially they're open to any ISEC member all over the world because it's posted on a global job portal. ISEC is a non-profit organization, which means they don't charge you a hefty fine for their services. But there are also for-profit organizations, internship organizations that help you find your internship. Simply Google, you can find a lot of them, for example, internshipabroad.com. So while they do help, they often charge quite a lot of money, ranging in the thousands of dollars. If you have the money, perhaps this would be the easiest way to land an internship, but I would strongly advise you to take a look at how trustworthy they are and the quality of their services. You don't want to kind of like go on an internship that's very like poorly managed by a company that's not responsible. So really do check this thoroughly. Moving on to point 2B, cold outreach to companies. This would simply be to reach out to companies in Malaysia or Singapore or anywhere else yourself. And this is probably what most of the people will spend most of their time doing. So how this works is that you can contact the company via email or LinkedIn to ask for any opportunities for an internship, for example. How this works is you look up their general email, which is maybe on their website, or the email of the recruiter, which can also be on the website, or any potential vacancies. And on LinkedIn, you can do the same. So you can connect with the recruiter. For LinkedIn, this is a template that I used. Feel free to copy it once again. So be sure to introduce yourself, why you're interested in the firm, and what value you think that you can deliver. Really think about why should they pay attention to you. Do you have anything that makes you stand out? Maybe it's the languages that you speak, maybe it's any experiences abroad that you have. Be sure to include this. And you can use a template for efficiency, but be sure to really customize your email or LinkedIn message to the person that you're speaking to and the company that you're trying to reach out to. Another tip is to actively follow up. People are busy, maybe they miss your message, or they're simply overloaded with their work. Be respectful and send maybe 1 and max 2 reminders to the person to bring your message to their attention once again. A final tip is to create an Excel sheet where you track all the companies and people that you contacted, so you don't lose track of what you've done so far already. The cold outreach step is a high effort, high reward process. You're bound to face a lot of objections early on, but remember to be diligent. There are a lot of companies in the country, and when you're just diligent and you keep persisting, you're bound to have some successes. So those were the methods that I used in finding my internships in Singapore and Malaysia. Finally, I would like to still end with some tips and tricks. Tip number 1, focus on companies or organizations where you could be an asset. An opportunity abroad doesn't need to be hard if there's something unique that you can bring to the table that locals can't. Perhaps it's a skill or a language, maybe German, for example. Perhaps a company deals with a lot of German clients and they really are lacking that language fluency in that area of the world. Try to also look for organizations that have a connection to your country and are active in Malaysia or Singapore or some other country. For example, try to look for any internship opportunities at the embassy of, I don't know where you're from, your embassy in that country, or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in that country. This is something that I always use to check out, like the Dutch embassy or the Dutch Foreign Affairs in Singapore or Malaysia or somewhere else. They have a specific internship page, and I would also always refresh it and check it out if there are any active opportunities. Another interesting place where I saw a lot of foreigners intern at when I was in Singapore is a Chamber of Commerce. So the Chamber of Commerce of the UK or Germany that was active in Singapore. Lastly, look for local companies of your home country that maybe have offices in Singapore or Malaysia. Maybe there's a French firm that has a branch there. Maybe there's an Indian firm that has a branch there. So really do actively look out for this. The second tip is to reach out to bigger organizations or corporates in Singapore and Malaysia. Bigger corporates or multinationals like Unilever, Coca-Cola, or Deloitte, they have so many resources that sponsoring a visa is way more accessible for them. As they are such global, huge countries, they're also more used to sponsoring work visas for foreign talent to come abroad. Usually they also have contractors in place inside of the company or external that handle the entire visa process. And this was the case for me at Unilever as well. So they're already really used to this kind of visa sponsorship thing. So I think this could also really raise your chances if you try to connect those kind of companies. Once you found an offer, congratulations. But the journey isn't over yet because there are still things that you need to think about, such as the visa process, accommodation, the moving. So if you have any questions about any parts of this, feel free to comment down below and I'll do my best to try and help to answer them. This was the end of my video. Be sure to like and comment if you like this type of content and want to see more of it. Also, please subscribe if you want to see more videos about working and living in Asia. Thank you and see you next time.